Good morning, everyone. This is Generation Dan. I have no funny quip or limerick to share with you because my co-host, Mr. Atlas Novack, is still asleep. So that is my funny. Our guest today.
Funny thing today.
I mean, it is pretty funny because he's up at like 5 o'clock in the morning every day, which I'm like, number one, there's no job worth that. That's a horrible idea. Just
Gross.
That's bad things happen at 5 o'clock in the morning. Just like at like 2 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the morning, those are bad times for anything to happen. I think a lot of people don't realize that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Mindy Kaling has a quip in one of her books. It's like, there is no sunrise so beautiful that I need to be awake to see it. And like, bars. I fully agree.
I mean, like, it's a little bit much. It's, and also too, I'm trying to wake up early in the morning and go to bed earlier at night because I'm old and my body is decaying, and it's right. That's just how life is.
Sure,
as a young person, yeah, it's one of those things. I thought I was going to live forever. They lied to me, Amma. They lied to me.
Come to find out, I too am furious.
I mean, it's not like I've never embraced a saying more than youth is wasted on the young than I have over the last 5 years. So I'm like, absolutely not. It's wasted. Absolutely wasted on you losers.
Yeah,
you can't even have a job.
I remember listening to two 20-somethings talking about how old they felt, and I yawned during the conversation and hurt my neck. And I was like, I don't know how better to explain to you that I hate everything you're saying, and my body is rebelling as well. Talk about something else. Everyone here is mad.
Yeah, it's 100%. I don't understand why, like people are misled into thinking like. I know, like, there's some people where you're like, high school is the best time of your life. You're like, no, it's not. High school sucks. It's a bloodbath. And if anything, they should encourage more fight clubs in school. That is my personal opinion. I feel like you would settle a lot of things because you go, hey, save it for Fight Club. And people would be like, oh, yeah, I'll save it for Fight Club. And then Fight Club happens and everybody goes home. It's fine. Yeah. Nobody gets, people get hurt. That's the whole
builds
point.
Character.
That's builds character, exactly. But yeah, so, yeah. I threw up my back the other day, and I've been like slowly stretching more and more each day to try and get it back to functioning. And of course, the one thing that usually works for me is like, hey, just fast for a couple of days so you can lose the weight, fatso. Your back will hurt less. It's like, I don't want to do that because I miss being fat. I'll be honest.
What a time.
I mean, everyone became body positive, and I lost weight, and I was like, oh, this is such a betrayal of everything.
You didn't time it ideally.
I mean, I was like 20 years too late. It's bullshit. I just, wow, Atlas looks different. New haircut.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
Feels amazing.
He's embracing everything. That's fine. So yeah, today we were supposed to talk about was movies and TV based around schools and what they get right, what they get wrong.
I think we can still do that.
I think I've been to school and I watch a ridiculous amount of content. So I'm like, I know things. It's not a lot of things.
I've also been to school. While I do not have like the high school teacher perspective, I am a college professor and have worked in colleges for a while. So we could talk about that.
I feel like college professor is way worse of an experience than high school teacher because
thank you for noticing.
You're dealing with actual legal adults. Like in high school, they're like, you have to act like an adult. You're an adult, but you're not an adult. You're a child and you can be whipped still, right? Whereas in college and university, it's like, oh, you have to talk with people. And I'm like, can we not? I mean, bring back the Fight Club from high school. I feel like it'd be better.
And I'll say too, like, so I teach two different classes. So one is students that are fairly new, and then one is students that are a little bit older. And the challenge with the ones that are fairly new is like they were just in high school. So it's like the behaviors in many ways haven't necessarily changed that much, but like time has been, hey, you're an adult now. And it's like, yeah, but you're still the same person.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah,
you haven't really figured out where the differences are yet.
that's fair. I like Cole's comment. I've been to school show offs. Trust me, it happened. I was there.
It did happen.
It's weird because like also too, like the weird transition from high school to college was I really slid into it because I'm like I was 6 foot in grade 9, and I'm like sorry, you had to treat me like an adult because I might go crazy and just start eating people. That's how that youth is. It's crazy. It's hormonal. It's one of those things. So in turn, in college, I'm like, oh yeah, everyone just treats everyone like an adult. I like that. That's a lot easier because men are like, hey, let's calm down. We don't need any rough housing. And I'm like, that's a good point because you'll lose. And they're like, that's right.
Yeah.
And don't touch me. I'm brittle. Like,
Yeah.
great.
Now, see, you all cannot see me because I am seated, but I do not have the height advantage that Dino has. I am probably nearly a foot shorter than him. So I spent most of college, people just kind of like assuming I was younger that I was. So much so that when I started working at colleges, I remember a very memorable moment. I live in Boston, and the school that I first started working at, I remember taking a group of students to an event, to an improv club, actually. And I remember one of them turning to be like, so are you a senior? And I was like, oh, sweetheart, no. And that still happens with some regularity. So
Yeah, no,
was never mistaken for an adult. Regularly, still not mistaken for an adult. I mean, at movies with alarming regularity. So we're living different lives, is all I'm saying.
Hello, Catherine. Yes, we can read the chat. We have eyeballs. I got my eyes checked. I turned 45. I got my eyes checked, and they were like, "You're good." I'm like, "Boom! Suck it, young people." But it's
comparatively, these are new glasses. So I'm still like figuring them out. But they're new glasses for a fun reason, because I lost my old pair in this color profile, of which I have many, at the US Open. Don't know where they went. I just switched from regular glasses to sunglasses and then went to switch back at the end of the day. Could not find them. So thankfully could get where I needed to go, but a lot of stuff didn't have edges because that's how my eyes work.
No, thank you very, very much for subscribing. Hello, Ingrid. Hello, Catherine. And I don't know how to pronounce that. Yap. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's the internet. Jesus, is it your first day? Yeah, see, I have a different problem because I look kind of in between old man winter and like father time. That's where my kind of look is sitting right now. And my wife is Chinese, and in turn, people will look at her because she has youthful skin and happiness in her eyes. That left me like 6 months after birth. It was just gone, right? So they look at me, they're like, oh, and I'm like, no, that's not fair. It's not fair. That's unreasonable. It's a little ridiculous. But yeah, I tell you, I remember being I was 16 at Canada's Wonderland, which is like Six Flags in the States. And me and another gentleman were we were both under 18. We were hitting on some younger women, and by younger I mean our own age. Sure. And he was like, "No, man, let's just we gotta stop. And I was like, "No, let's, maybe we can get a number or something." And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go there. Just find us over there." I'm like, "Cool." And I went to go find them, and I thought I saw them, and then I heard, "Hey, sir, come back!" And I was like, no,
"Oh, you got stirred."
I was 16. I got 16. Now, also too, the legal age up here is 19 to buy alcohol. I've been buying alcohol since I was 15 because murder face. It works. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's great to look older when you're young.
I was gonna say, Murderface gets drinks, and like this face gets not just asked,
Shirley Temple
interrogated about IDs. Actually, same day at the U.S. Open, went to get like an Aperol spritz, one of the official beverages of the U.S. Open and the official cocktail of Italy, and it was. I should also say this is the day after my 39th birthday, so we're well into drinking age, and was ID'd, as was the job of this young man, not
Yeah.
his fault. But then I gave him my ID and he says, this must be fake. And I was like, I needed that, sir. Thank you so much. But and not the first time I've been aggressively told, like, we don't believe you. So, you know, I don't know your problems. And if my mom is any indication, I won't for another good 20 to 25 years.
Like, it's honestly, like I got, it's weird when you interact with people and like, because we traveled, we went to Hong Kong, and I met a few people outside the hotel. I was having a cigarette, we were talking, and one guy was saying how like, yeah, I'm 21, you know, we're both adults, and I kind of look at him going, legally, let's calm down though. And he was like, in
the eyes of the law, sure.
Yeah, sure. We can both be held accountable. That's not that we're not the same. That's not. And also too, like he was also a little guy. So I'm like, you'd need 6 of your friends to make someone that fit my profile. Like let's calm down.
Yeah, it's like, do you have 2 friends to put in a trench coat to make this even? Like, how are we gonna?
I mean, like, so I used to do a joke when I was at my fattest where I'd say I look like a 6 midget Voltron, like where they just attach and they become a giant. And people were like, you do. That's accurate. Like I would get hard laughs and people were like, that's very accurate. And I'm like, that's a little mean. You don't have to add to that.
Yeah, like some people laughing and some people like mathing in their heads like, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, that seems accurate. And I'm just like, that's not, that's, you know, I got laughs, but you know, at what cost?
At what cost? Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of, I found recently that TV and movies based on school environments that I'm losing touch with because they don't seem familiar. They seem a little bit. I'll be honest with you. The first time was I believe it was 21 Jump Street, where he had the backpack on one shoulder, and they were like, "Why are you doing that? It's going to affect your spine." And I was like, "What? 2 shoulder back? I don't want to live in this world." Like that was a huge, it was, it was traumatic. It was a traumatic thing.
And like, we didn't care about that because like spine health was not a going concern. But then now I watch that, I'm like, you know what?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, I feel like we were deceived because at some point we were like, hey, I saw it on Star Trek Next Generation. They replaced his entire spine. You could do that. That's the future. I don't have to worry about this stuff. And then they're like, no. That's possible, just not for you, Mr. Poors. And you're like, oh, that's rude.
Like we have chosen to use that technology elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like, we could give you that, or insert wildly dystopian thing that results from a deliberate misreading of something that was written by an author saying, hey, don't do this.
I think the one wild thing is like there are Alice was telling me there are certain books now, like I think it was 1984 was no longer allowed to be in his curriculum, which I was like, why? It's pretty important, like right now, like right now. But like, was like,
but like the answer is in the question, right? Because it's like, why take it out? Because it's like, because then people might start doing 1984 response things in response to 1984 provocation things, because it's like, all in the text. Like within the last 2 years, I read, first of all, you know, you're in Canada. I don't recommend reading Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler prior to a U.S. election. Don't do it. Terrible timing. And then I somehow managed to do the same thing with the sequel, Parable of the Talents, like around the time that like one horrifying, I think it was around like Big Beautiful Bill time. So basically, U.S. listeners, U.S. viewers, no good time to read Octavia Butler at the moment. That said, strongly recommend that you do it because it'll feel familiar. It won't feel good, but it'll feel familiar. So
that's fair.
She was right. Right down to some of the slogans, which make me think like, oh, did someone in that cabinet read it? But then you're like, no one in this cabinet can read. So like, how did they get there?
Thank you. There's been a lot of stuff where I'm just like, it's not enough that you have to read You have to learn history. You have to understand how there are processes and things that happen, and you should be actively terrified about them. And that is completely reasonable response, such as, hey, I'm in the subway. Some guy takes his pants off. I'm going to freak out. Why? Because this isn't where you take your pants off, sir. This is a place where you keep your pants on. Inappropriate. I feel that that's the real disconnect, especially for you guys. You guys have a hard time with it, but it's like the things that you have to consider during school. You're like, yeah, you shouldn't have to consider any of that. That's a horrible thing. But it's one of those. It's a. I wish I could say that it's like it's a losing argument or anything, but no. It's just people getting crazier and crazier, and you're going, oh, none of this makes any sense, because any finger you point anywhere, trust me, it's you're just opening up a can of worms, and you're not fishing. That's a can of worms when you're fishing, not other times. It's quite ridiculous. I don't know. There's been a lot of like we're trying to we watch a lot of movies. We try and have like a movie night at the end of the night, just kind of wind down and stuff because of life, existence, those kind of things. You're like, I need to calm down before sleep, otherwise my sleep, I'm gonna wake up with a kink. I'm gonna kink and just be like, no, I had a dream. I was fighting a bear. You don't want that. You don't want that.
It's the body keeping the score. And I'm like, we're not playing. Treat it like a youth soccer game. We're just out here trying to have fun. And my neck is like, no, we're keeping score, and you will lose every time.
For a while, I was stretching every day for like half hour every morning.
Smart.
And I was feeling really good. I was getting more flexible. It was great. And then life things happened. I stopped doing it. And now I'm like, why would I stop the thing that was making me so flexible? And I hate it. I hate it all the time. But this is where, so recently we went actually and we watched a new movie called Weapons. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's about, yeah,
I've heard of it. Multiple students in my class are like, you got to go see Weapons. And I'm like, I'm not a big creepy kids in movies person. To which they said, the kids aren't creepy, the adults are creepy. And I was like, thank you for clarifying. But also, I still don't know if that's my thing.
Probably not. I'll give you that. It's probably not, because the kid creepiness is fairly mild. Fairly no creepier than normal children.
Cool.
In general, yeah.
Sure.
But the adult creepiness is exceptionally creepy, and also some of it a little bit too real life. Where and you're kind of looking, going, oh, like somebody uses a needle as a weapon to defend themselves, and you're like, don't do that. That's not. And you're like, because what people don't understand is, you're like, that's how you get the bad stuff. It's not the drugs are great. It's the bad stuff you got to worry about.
Right.
What's up, Marco? Hello, Victoria. But yeah, it's a weird situation that we saw it, and you're like, there was at the same time, like they kind of went through like because these are those like grade school kids, like young, like 9-10 years old, and they kind of explain the dynamic of in school stuff, and you're kind of going, oh yeah, so there's still a bully, there's someone still needs to get punched, there's the mean girls, they're the ugly mean girls, which is a new trend, which I'm like, that sounds horrible. That's much worse. There's some things that you're like kind of don't change, and I'm like, I really feel like I think I'm onto something with the student fight club. I think that's a real necessity that people need to start it. I feel like that would, like, in all honesty, we should have a work fight club too. Be like, hey, save it for the work club. There's no point in arguing. Save it for the fight club. And learning. There's an area in Chile that has they essentially have a literal Boxing Day after Christmas where you can fight anyone for a disagreement. Men, women, women on women, men on women, women on men. Like it's I saw a guy get the shit kicked out of him by a woman, and it was awesome. I'll be honest, because she was significantly bigger than him, and he had no chance whatsoever. It was great. But
Man,
like,
Chili just keeps producing the hits. Like literal Boxing Day, Super Ocho candy bar, Pedro Pascal. Like, good job.
I mean, like that's a long-term plan. I feel like that's a long-term plan, and they're like, yeah. Now they're twisting their long mustaches, like, ha ha ha, we've gotten it. I don't know.
Well, and I feel like every time I try to explain Boxing Day to something, they're like, "Oh, like hitting," and I'm like, "No." But now I could be like, "In Chile,
yeah. It's, I mean, it's where it's at. But that's the thing too. Is like, there's like, how do you find when you, like, every new batch of young people each year, like, are they getting weirder, or are they just like, you got to start over with the same weird? Like, as it?
No, they're getting weird. I think they're getting weirder, but I also wonder if it's not just new kinds of weird. So, like, there's just added weird things that are getting contributed to their area of awareness. So it's like the same kind of weird, but like around a different thing. So like weird in the sense of obsessed with, like, we had the kid in our class that was always like ancient Egypt, that's my thing. Or the girl in our class that was like the Titanic, not the movie, just the general disaster, that's my thing. And like those were the kinds of like weird things that we were accustomed to, but now it can be about like other stuff.
Yeah. That sounds significantly worse. Yeah. There's definitely more worse.
More worse.
There is more worse. Just worse. It is more
like
worse.
The volume of worse is greater. Greater worse.
I mean, I think that's the like, I love a good coming of age story. I love those kind of stories, especially where like it seemed not plausible, but you're like, yeah, going through some of that, it's gonna change you, right? Like I grew up with Stand By Me and movies like that, where you're going, it's a great movie. It's a great movie where you're like, listen, you have to at some point in your life, I think in general, men, women, everyone, you have to stand up and fight for something. Earlier this week, we had an entire episode where we were talking about the idea that it's like the person that doesn't stand up for anything will fall for everything. Like they just don't. And you're like, that's the thing is, it's easier to do nothing. It's always easier to do nothing and just go, okay, that's the new thing. Sure, we're going to just do that. You're like, so, but standing up for yourself, that's what really makes you a person. Where you know, there's a lady who is obsessed with the Titanic movie and decorated her home. So, I mean, I'm down because those are a lot of big staircases and like opening kind of
probably
areas,
a gorgeous space, truth be told.
Yeah. It'd be really funny if she lives in like a 1-bedroom apartment and it's just all sectioned off.
It's just like all the stuff in like a very dense space. But I do have to wonder, was she a Titanic girl in school? And then it kind of evolved into the movie, because I grew up, and like we're close enough in age that you probably experienced some version of this, was like there was the Titanic girl at school who then had the movie so everyone else knew what she was talking about, and she's like, I've been here, but like, welcome. And then could like fact check the movie and be like, all right, well, they said this, and actually it's it. So like, to be that person already, and then have like the cultural conversation catch up to you, like, what a gift. My God. Like, I mean, I lived through that again with like Pearl Harbor a couple of years later. So like, if you were a kid that was like obsessed with the Pearl Harbor disaster and then that movie came about, you're like, oh man, but then that movie wasn't as good. But it's been interesting to kind of watch, like we had that era of like big historical sweeping dramas around like real life things. And you could get to a stage where like you were into that already, and then kind of bring everybody along with you. I imagine Gladiator, similar thing. Like if you had, again, the Roman Empire boys were like, let's go. So it's all happening.
There's, you know what? I never laughed more than the people exposing the whole, like, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? And you're like, all the time.
All the time,
like, You do not think about the Roman Empire? And you're like, well, what is it you think? I'm like, it's the fall of Roman Empire, because we are experiencing the fall of the Roman Empire right now.
Yeah.
This is a current events. Like it's very like, so I'm not sure if this works the same way for women. I know it works way for men, where I can know one thing extremely well. And making me easier to function in society, what I do is I can just relate everything to that one thing, and then I can fill in the gaps very quickly because now it's a logical process, right? So in the same sense, when people see that, I'm like, yeah, that makes complete sense. I get every step of that. But and then you have people like, for me, we had it was just after I graduated from high school was Lord of the Rings came out. And I was like, I could have signed up for that. But I did try and read The Hobbit once, and I thought I died like a page and a half in, and I was like, this isn't English. That ain't English. I'm like, I can speak Greek. Could we have Greek? I can do Greek. They did not. So yeah, no, it is kind of a thing. But like, I remember having people do that. Really like, let me tell you, because you're like, I don't understand when this happened. They're like, that's because, and you're like, let's calm down. We don't need to. We don't need to.
Well, it's funny because like as that discourse was happening, like I had a joke about the Roman Empire, or like basically I was just like, someone who's good at history, can someone please tell me at what point of the fall of the Roman Empire they stopped going to work? Because I would love to know. And then like, and like I. About like a month or a month and a half into that was like the Roman Empire thing. So like anytime I was in like a group with like white dudes, I'm like, I'm sure you look like a Roman Empire guy. Can you please tell me when? And then I had a guy in the audience one time be like, tomorrow. And I was like, what's your name? And he's like, Paul. And I was like, so if any of us get in trouble, we can write to our bosses and say, Paul said we didn't have to. So like it ended up being timed really nicely in the sense of like, I had already started talking about it. And then I was like, especially because I'll go into crowds and like white dudes are like, she doesn't have anything for me. And I was like, actually, I would love to know your answer. Like, get in here. You want to talk about it. Let's go. So it was a nice tool to be like
huge. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say like men like to feel useful. I was like, actually, can you help me? Like, how does the rest of this joke go? And then they were fine. So that was fun.
That's the thing is men that see. I feel like that's. Like something, as much as life changes and time progresses, people get crazier and whatever, you're like, there are some norms that people want. Like men, I want to feel useful. I want to feel like I've brought in something to that people go, oh, you did that, that's good, and
then once I ask you a question, then you don't have to like contribute unprovoked, because it's like, you can't help me. I asked for your help. If I don't ask for your help, you don't have to talk. So it's like a nice Well, then you have a dialogue that's stopped and we're continuing somewhere else. And you're like, that was my part. I did my part. I'm good. I'm good. Or if they continue, I was like, I didn't ask you anything additional. We're done here.
Yeah. Well,
I'm at work. I'll talk to you later.
I had a couple times I've gotten thrown up where I'm like, I had a bunch of new material I wanted to try. And they're like, hey, Dino, we have a heckler. I'm like, okay, but you owe me time somewhere else where I can use this new stuff. And they're like, okay, that's fine. Can you just go deal with that? And then I just tear them up. Like one guy had shorts on in the evening and I'm like, who raised you? A feral cat? Like what? Okay. You're wearing shorts out into a public event at night at a bar?
Thank you for saying this, because I have such strong opinions about where you should and should not wear shorts. Like, I don't do stand-up in shorts. I think it's unseemly. I find it horrifying that there are men that do it. Like, the 3 times that I've had to do it for, like, heat purposes, I'm like, I'm going to let you know. I hate that I'm doing this. Yeah. I am so sorry you have to look at my knees. I would really prefer that you listen to my jokes. So I'm, like, appropriately apologetic about it. So, yes, flame men for wearing shorts when they should be wearing pants. I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, that is like, I'll be honest with you.
You're providing an essential service. I cannot be.
I feel seen. I feel seen and I appreciate it greatly. It goes back to, it's like the second episode of Sopranos. Mm-hmm. Tony Soprano is wearing shorts at a barbecue. He got a phone call from a real person and was like, Don, don't wear shorts. And I'm like, thank you. I've never been comfortable in shorts. And I'm like, the times that I've had to wear it, and I'm like, I need protection on my calves specifically. Mm-hmm. There's too much. I can't. Absolutely not.
And I wish they would stop doing stand-up in shorts. I'm like, please don't make me look at your knees. I barely want to listen to what you're saying. Like, stop this.
I mean, it gets worse when they have like leg tattoos, and you're like, none of those make sense either. Like, that says chicken soup. How dare you? And they're like, it's actually a philosophy. I mean, you're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. You got to stop. You got to stop. Put on some pants. And also, listen, I also have the same thing with, and this is actually apparently originated in Italy, is that Italians, if they see you walking around in flip-flops, they're like, oh, you're obviously a target. You're like, that's
Yeah.
flip-flops are for the beach. No, if you're, I'm going to the beach. That's why you have flip-flops on. I'm coming from the beach. That's why you have flip-flops on. I'm in the sand. That's why you have flip-flops on. However, the rest of the time, if you don't have a back to your shoe, it's just, it's gone. You know,
it's like, I wish you would just cover that up.
It's the same thing. Like, look, I happily don't own Crocs. I don't. I know it's some people are like, no, they're the greatest thing, and I'm like, no, they're not. Because you gotta, if you look at where their popularity came from, it's from the movie Idiocracy, and they were like, why does everyone wear it? Because it's the dumbest thing you could possibly wear. And then people were like, I put headlights on mine. And you're like, you don't deserve friends or a job. You should just be at home. You're not.
Here's what I will say about Crocs. In large part, like, do what you want. Like, I'm like 94% the case of it. But excuse me, elevators.
There you go.
Escalators can eat them.
Yes.
So that's on you. Why would you eat a shoe, or why would you wear a shoe that an escalator could eat? Like, you could lose a foot.
Yeah,
why? Yeah. I don't care to risk it.
See, my thing is that, like, it's the same thing with people who walk around with untied shoelaces, and they're like, "What's the big deal?" And I'm like, "Give me your shoes." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Give me your shoes. They'll slip right off. Give them to me. Good. You don't deserve shoes. It's that simple." They're like, "Hey, man,
it's dangerous.
It is."
Shoes are first and foremost a safety mechanism, and if you choose to wear them unsafely, like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
we have gotten so far afield from what we were supposed to be doing.
Not really. These are all lessons to young people that they should need to learn. Okay, that is just factual. You can have an identity, still be useful in other situations. This is very simple. You're like, be able to just broaden out. Yeah.
Be safe, especially in the U.S., a country that will not protect you. Like, do what you can for yourself.
Hey, we're starting to get that up here, and our country won't protect us either. So I understand how frustrating that is. I'm like, no, I'm in Canada. We're supposed to be protected by the U.S. No, we're not.
But you have the healthcare to combat it, and we don't. So
also under fire. I'll be honest with you, it is a mess up here. Yeah,
I know.
The worst part is that people are like, oh, we can make money with this. Hey, no, you can't. It's that simple. I really am a fan of the CEO of Costco, where one of his board members said we could raise the price of the hot dog. He's like, if you raise the price of the hot dog, I'll kill you with my bare hands. And I'm like, that's leadership. That is proper. Yeah. See, I'm working on a longer bit with examples where I'm like, people who reach the pinnacles of any sort of industry also need to be Olympic level athletes. I don't know why. I just feel like I can't. It's kind of there's a growing trend of gym bros who are like, I can bench press more than anyone here. I don't have to listen to anyone. You're like, number one, that's not true, because bench press is actually basically a useless exercise in general, but it's fine. But number two is like, you know what? It's knowing that you're not just, oh, I'm rich, that's my superpower. You're like, no, because Batman is also a scientist, the greatest detective that ever lived, and also a trained fighter. And he's ridiculously rich. So that's like the last thing. You take away the money, he's still Batman. So
it feels like a control mechanism against failing upward, because you have to be good at least two things.
I feel like that's important.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, because I'm just like, I'm out here I'm good at talking. That's my big skill set. Or also I can pretend to be the Kool-Aid man. I'm still big enough where I can just, right to the wall, which is useful. Construction sites and things like that.
Sure.
But like also, I got jobs for Halloween. I got a new job for a Halloween place for the month of October, and I'm like, yay! I'm gonna make something poop it pants. It's very entertaining to me. I don't know why, but I'm just like, I feel so satisfied when I'm just like, last year I was working at a castle, and after scaring the crap out of two men, the one stood up and says, "Oh my God, I just shit my pants." And I'm like, I did a good job. I'm like, I should get a raise. I feel like that's,
Again, there should be a bonus associated with that. And again, it's a level of physical intimidation I cannot achieve. Although I will say, sometimes I surprise people because I'm out of their eye line. That's fun, but it's not the same thing.
Sorry. And
Don't
just see you
apologize. I'm
pointing out
having
and
a
just
great
being like,
time.
listen. And someone's like, where? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's.
You
that's
never
fair.
saw me coming.
I mean, that's an achievement. I feel like that's why like that like one thing I do remember from school was people who were obsessed. Like you said, there was Titanic in Egypt, Pearl Harbor. People who are obsessed with things is not a bad thing. It's when
No.
they only have one thing. You're like, no, no, no. Now you take your obsession and now you understand everything because you have a full knowledge of one thing. The same rules apply to everything else. It's not, it's not as complex as people think, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me. That's why it's seeing, interestingly, like, we watched, the new It movies.
Sure.
We like scary movies a lot.
I don't. But
That's
I see
fair.
what you.
That's completely reasonable.
I'm
Because-
little. They're terrifying.
Sorry.
Don't
It's just funny.
apologize. It's not your fault.
No, but it's just it's more so like, so even now I still do the joke where I'm like, there's no one in my house I can't wear as a backpack. Like that's I'm like, we used to have 6 people here and I'm like, yeah, I could double up. That's fine. I look like a backpacker, like I just have one on top, one on the leg. Put a little belt on, I'm good to go. But like it's that whole idea where you're like, yeah, I'm little. You can just pick me up and walk away. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
And I was play fighting with a gentleman who was one of my older brother's really close friends. He was 5'4", 5'5", okay, as a man. But he was also 195 pounds lean muscle.
Okay.
So we were play fighting and I'm like, he's always been a little guy, which I can just literally pick him up and just go, and he would get angry. But he grabbed my jeans and lifted me off my ground. Like, not even like my waist part of my jeans, like my thigh part of my jeans, and lifted me off the ground. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, bro, if I fall, we're both dead. Okay. You can't do that kind of stuff. And he was like, why not? And I'm like, because if I pick you up, I can catch you. You can't catch me and you may die. It was very impressive. He was very sneaky. So he would wear a suit jacket and you're kind of going, that seems a little bit tight. I'm not sure. And then he would take it off and you're going, Jesus Christ. Like it was very, he was very well built.
Good for him.
He put in a lot. It was funny because like him and his brothers were all like 130 pounds soaking wet. So he's like, how do I gain weight? And my brother's like, okay, so you're going to drink a liter of cream for breakfast. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, you just need massive amounts of calories.
Oh God,
and
his cholesterol.
It's no, they were young at the time.
Okay.
Then he was like, you need to eat, like for lunch, you have an entire pan of lasagna, like just a whole pot full of pasta, like just massive amounts of food. He's like, yeah, you just need, your metabolism's just too damn fast. You need you need to overwhelm it. And he's like, okay. And then he did, and it was ridiculous. But that's it's one of those things where, being small is a different thing. That experience, I was like, is this what it feels like being little? Because it sucks. I'm not a fan.
People just pick you up without your consent because they can. And like, what am I going to do about it?
You got to learn like Krav Maga or something where it's just like, bam, right in the neck. The funny thing is like, so I do that to grown men a lot. Where they try and get in my face and I just put them down, and the whole time they're like,
yeah, I know.
And I'm like, don't say anything.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm either gonna put you down or I'm gonna eat you. Those are your options. So good for you. Good for you with putting up with it, because you may want to. I don't know what the solution is, because I'll tell you, I have a great time doing it. I don't do it to women because that's inappropriate. But I do it to men, and they get very angry. But I'm like, there's nothing you can do, little boy. And he's like, I'm older than you. I'm like, that doesn't matter.
No, nothing to be done.
Because it's weird. See, even like the first time I met Atlas is 6 foot. And I'm like, I'm only 6'2", but we are not the same species, like at all. Mm-hmm. So, because he's like got little shoulders, and I'm like, I'm as wide as a doorway. A little bit different. And he's just like, yeah, you are really big. I'm like, it's just It's just how it worked. But that was the funny thing was in school was I was already huge, and even a couple people would describe it. They're like, "You were so big," and I'm like, "I'm still so big." They're like, "Really? Oh my god!" I'm like, I was bigger. I'm smaller now. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I've never been mistaken for a student though. I've been mistaken for a teacher multiple times. That was very entertaining. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm a student. They're like, oh, late education, eh? And I'm like, I'm 19. They're like, really? And I'm like, that's not nice. That is not a nice thing to say. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like no further questions. No.
Yeah, no. We're not having a conversation like this. That's horrible. But yeah, I was gonna say about the It movies that like I find it endearing that a lot of the time the young people in a movie won't do dumb shit, but the adults will constantly do dumb shit. And I'm like, I feel like that's a thing that bothers me the most, where you're going like, do people just lose logic over time, which I'm leaning in towards, or is it just like young people are smarter? That's just how that is. And I'm like, I really don't think young people are smarter. I think just dumb people become dumber.
I don't know if it's smarter. I think it is something about maybe like access to information or like desire to continue learning or like some of the capacities to continue learning, right? Whereas sometimes folks over time are like, well, I'm done school. Like, that's enough. Whereas, like, if the world keeps changing at a point where you're already learning stuff, you're going to start to pick up new things along the way. So that's an interesting piece to consider of it.
Yeah. So Victoria says Silmarillion still slaps. I'm not reading that. People lose their id over time, I think. Id is which one? So ego's the bad one. What's your id? Is just your identity?
Yeah.
Adults have to think about all these different aspects to solve a problem later on, but kids, it's immediate. I mean, impulse. Oh, okay. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's only because you're told you can't embrace your impulses. Number one, there's a lot of people embracing their impulses and they're making money at it. So that's bullshit.
Making money and destroying governments. Don't forget that. I mean,
sounds like a great day. Sorry.
Well, they're having a good time. Can I tell you? So to the impulse, or not the impulse thing, but like the idea of being able to think about things differently. An odd place that this has illustrated itself for me recently is Taskmaster. So the UK show Taskmaster.
We are huge fans.
Have you watched Junior Taskmaster?
No. I didn't even know there was. So I knew there was a New Zealand one, a failed American one. Yeah. There's a junior. Oh, really?
So the thing about Junior Taskmaster is if you will watch Taskmaster, for those unfamiliar, there's a series of challenges that 5 actors or comedians or performers in England and the UK will take part in. But there's a junior version of it, so it's 5 kids, and they're between like 9 and 12. And every now and again, you'll get a challenge on regular Taskmaster, and like one adult will do like a lateral thinking thing of like, oh, well, the challenge says this, but it doesn't say I can't approach it this way.
Right.
And the kids do that more often, which I think is so interesting. And like, so like now I'm going to friends with kids that are like 7, 8, or 9. I was like, please let me watch Junior Taskmaster with your kids. I have to know how they would approach this challenge. But it's just so interesting to think about how like they'll see the challenge that's set forth and automatically think about how can I get around the rule to do the thing in a way that will help me win it. And that's rarer with the adult contestants. Sometimes it'll happen, but it's pretty rare compared to how often the kids do it.
When it happens with the adults, it's like that person is diabolical. You're like, that person is not a normal. Yeah. Because you look at it, you're like, that's a murderer.
Yeah. They're like, they didn't follow the rules. Or like, how did they think of that? And yeah, the kids too will be like, but that's not what the challenge said. But like, they're more likely to think of it. It's so interesting.
Like, I remember the first time someone's like, you can't touch the red green. And they were like, oh, okay. And they just flipped it over until they're right beside and drop it. And they're like, you can't touch any part of the green. You can't step on it. You can't touch it. You can't move it. You can't do anything. You're going,
I still remember they had this challenge where they had to build, they were using coasters to build like a house of cards, essentially, out of coasters. And there was a doorbell at the end of the hallway, so you had to like go outside and ring the doorbell every 20 seconds, every 10 seconds, every 5 seconds. And one of the contestants, Rizwan, realized at some point that the doorbell came off. So we just took it off the outside, brought it in with him, kept working, and periodically would like hit it and then keep going and then hit it and then keep going. And people were like, oh my God. And like, that's the kind of thing that like 3 of the kids probably would have tested, but he was the only adult to do it. And that was fascinating to me.
So Victoria says, am I the weird one? I keep thinking about loopholes when I watch it. No, the problem is, too. As an adult, we're just like, I can't figure out the loophole. And then they do it and you're like, I'm dumb and old.
And then under the time pressure of it, I'm assuming you think entirely differently. Whereas like from home, I'm like, why wouldn't they just? And it's like, I know, put in that situation, I would just crumble. I get it.
Like, in all honesty, though, it's watching people because this is the thing is even comedians, actors, entertainers of any sort, they have a structure and time to prepare and things like that, right? Whereas when you're not given the lines to read and you just have to make it up, it is some of the funniest shit you'll ever see, because you're like, oh, these people have no idea how to tie their shoelaces. You're like, oh, you could walk up and be like, wallet inspector. They're like, oh, I'm sure you'll see everything's in order. Aha. And you're like, no, I just stole your wallet, dummy. But
that's why everybody who's like, oh, people at work said I should try stand up, and it's like, cool, can you write? And then they can't, and it's fun to watch that fall apart pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, that is there's a certain luxury in watching someone just go, I could do that, and then completely crumble, and you're like, hey man, see, it's not that easy.
Can I tell you, as a woman, one of my favorite things when a guy is like, oh, people tell me I should try stand up, I'm like, who? What are their names? It falls apart very quickly, and I have a lot of fun with that.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. It's one of those things that is absolutely hilarious, because well, that's the thing is, you're like, oh, I could just steer a boat. No, you can't. You need to understand how the rules work. Anyway, yes, I was aware that you had a hard out at noon. So, Emma, thank you so much for coming. This has been a very fantastic thing.
Which did so little of what we were supposed to do, but that's okay. I had a great time.
I feel like Sunday is for that more so. That you're like, we can have a plan, but let's just have a good time. I think that's more important.
This was a Sunday drive of a conversation, and I love it. It's like nowhere to be. And even if you do have somewhere to be, you don't have to be there. So go wherever you want.
Yeah. I'll get there when I get there. It's fine. It's fine. Exactly. Absolutely. Where can everyone follow you and find you?
Yeah, I am on Instagram and YouTube at Amma Marfo. My name, all one word. I travel to do comedy. I will be in New York on October 5th doing my hour, and then I will do a part of it in LA like 2 weeks after that, the dates of which escape me at the moment. Awesome. And then in Austin on December 13th and 14th.
Ooh, that's exciting. Very exciting. I need to start traveling for comedy. I think it's important.
And I'm aiming for Toronto in 2026, so
sweet Jesus. I will.
Let's do it.
Listen, I'll get a big backpack. We'll take you around the city and just. It'll be fun. Trust me. It'll be a modern version of Master Blaster from Mad Max. It's fine.
Amazing. I expect to not walk anywhere. If my feet touch the ground once I get to Toronto, Dino, you have failed.
Completely reasonable.
Like my ride's here.
I feel like a camel. Just yip. Just like, yeah, that's fair. Find and follow us on Generation Dan on YouTube and Instagram. I am Dino the Genetic Marvel, half of the duo that does Generation Dan. Now I'm worried that Atlas is okay. He may be in jail. I don't know. Maybe he snapped. It's very possible. He is teaching high school students. I mean, high school students will do it to you. We took one teacher out when we were growing up, so he lost it. And I'm like, yeah, that's completely reasonable. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everyone. Have a great day.